presented by Private Internet Access.
Welcome back to We're All Satoshi. I'm Rick Falkvinge and I'm sitting here discussing with Jörg von Minckwitz, co-founder and CEO of Bitwala here in wonderful Berlin, where the financial technology companies and the liberty enthusiasts are kind of converging right now. And we've been talking a little bit about how you came into cryptocurrency. We've been talking about Bitwala. And again, we started touching on different types of coins, different types of cryptocurrencies. There's a lot of things happening in the community right now. And I've seen that you've commented a little bit on it. What's yours and Bitwala's take on these almost fraction wars that have been playing out and intensifying for the past while?
So first of all, there was the recent split of Bitcoin Cash with the bigger miners reward and like bigger blocks and
eight meg block size.
Exactly.
They even filled up one block to 8 megs.
Exactly. But for me, like the specific one, I didn't pay so much attention to be honest. Like I don't want to offend anyone, but like I had this since I told in the very beginning, I'm in Bitcoin since 2011, 2012, and we had this kind of stuff quite often. So it was called Bitcoin Unlimited, Bitcoin Classic, Bitcoin. There were so many names and trying to rebrand Bitcoin. So that I was really skeptical if there is even a hard fork. Now they pulled it through and we will see how it goes. But like, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like I like the Bitcoin Core developers. I like the team that is running this Bitcoin Core at the moment. Because let's face it, the Bitcoin network was online 8 years and without any interruption and without any break, without any mistakes. So this team proved that they know their stuff. And now there's another team that wants to turn this into more like a corporate adaptable coin that is more like Visa or MasterCard. And they tried it a few times already, but this time, yeah, they somehow succeed, but I'm still not sure how this will turn out in the end.
Well, if you really can't agree and you're seeing a divorce of the team, would it not be better competition-wise if each team just went their separate ways?
For sure. And this is why we're supporting both coins. Like, as I said, I like challenges and I didn't sell my Bitcoin Cash so far. So I'm just watching and seeing like what's happening. If in the end the other team wins, I'm there too. Like I'm a Bitcoin enthusiast and I like evolution. So if it's the other one, I'm the biggest fan too. But until now, I see that they need some proof of work.
I hear you. And to be fair, Bitcoin also needed some time initially, as do all coins, as do all movements.
Yes.
I haven't sold my Bitcoin Cash either. I can't, for my life, figure out how to get them out. Because my wallets don't support with Bitcoin Cash. Even if they did, though, I don't think I would sell them. I would just let them stand there and see what happens, frankly. I traded a bit early on. I traded on empty GOX. That was one of my biggest mistakes because it is now empty. Yeah. And at the end, I just started hodling instead.
Yeah,
like
that's my way too.
Leave it alone. Let it grow. It's going to be retirement money.
Exactly. That's exactly how I do it too. And I didn't gamble on Bitcoin Cash either, so I keep both. We will see in which direction it goes, but I'm a little bit skeptical.
Fair enough. I mean, there was one person at something called Satoshi Roundtable. And I'm not allowed to say whom, but one of the people gathered in earlier this year. And this was when everybody was completely opposed to a hard fork. As in, whatever happens, we must agree, we must avoid a hard fork at all times. And this person uttered the absolutely forbidden at the time. Like, maybe a hard fork is the best thing that can happen to Bitcoin. Like, look at Ethereum. They were fighting so much over this DAO catastrophe when somebody found an exploit in a subset of a code interpretation. Exactly. Not just the contract, but an interpretation that was specific to the code specification and so on.
And they're forking again.
Yeah, and and look at what's happened to Ethereum now. Ethereum plus Ethereum Classic has a market cap combined that was much higher than this community before.
Exactly. It's free money, so I don't complain.
Well, yeah, I guess that's a good way of looking at it. But you're still supporting a lot of these, as in terms of Bitwala. Like you mentioned, you're supporting Cash, Bitcoin or Bitcoin Legacy, or however you name it. And you mentioned Iota. That was interesting. That's the first time somebody brings that up here. Tell us more about why Iota.
Yeah, Iota is some kind of a different technology behind it. It's also here in Berlin. That's why I know it quite well. And they just say from the principle, we don't need an entire blockchain when we want to confirm transactions. So Iota is always sending out or confirming 2 transactions for every transfer you actually do, which I find really, really interesting in terms of scalability, because then every smartphone, every user can be and participate in the network. And that's an interesting point. It's called...
Right. Actually, I think I was wrong. Now that you mention it and explain it, Iota has been mentioned once before, in terms of how spamming the network is actually part of mining.
Exactly. Because every time when you spam the network, you make 2 other confirmations, and you make even more space on the network.
Right. So the incentives are very neatly built into the concept.
Exactly. And for micropayments, it's just the way to go, I think, because when we think it all the way through, and we have really the Internet of Things all around us, like every computer, every television, everything is linked to a wallet and can pay each other and make like little payments and fraction of payments. We need something properly scalable and exponentially scalable, and I think Iota is a good way to combine what we know from Bitcoin and put it into micropayments.
Awesome. So you would not use Ethereum for these kinds of contracts in the Internet of Things?
I think Ethereum I would use as a supercomputer where you can write smart contracts and where you can do certain algorithms and contracts between different parties. But the payment itself, I would probably put on Iota.
That's a very interesting...
Like Satoshi Pay, for example, they recently switched from Bitcoin to Iota for micropayments inside their system, and I think it's really promising what they do.
Interesting. Let's make sure to keep that on the radar.
Yeah, that too.